Steven Allen Spielberg. He was born on December 18th, 1946, right after World War II, in good old Cincinnati, Ohio. His parents were Arnold Spielberg and Leah Posner. Spielberg is the oldest of his three siblings. He grew up in Cincinnati with his family who were Orthodox Jews. His paternal grandparents were Jewish Ukrainian immigrants who settled in Cincinnati in the early 1900s. In 1950, at just 4 years old, his family moved to a small town in New Jersey. Then, 3 years later, they moved again, but to Phoenix, Arizona. As a teen, Spielberg was embarrassed to say he was an Orthodox Jew. He says, "It isn't something I enjoy admitting, but when I was 7, 8, 9 years old, God forgave me. I was embarrassed because we were Orthodox Jews. I was embarrassed by the outward perception of my parents' Jewish practices. I was never really ashamed to be Jewish, but I was uneasy at times." He also suffered from prejudiced views and bullying. He says, "In high school I got smacked and kicked around, 2 bloody noses, it was horrible." After his parents' divorce in 1965, Spielberg and his father moved to California. There he attended Saratoga High School and graduated that same year. He had also been awarded his Eagle Scout rank around that same time, with him being only 14 years old when he was awarded that badge. This brings me to our very own Eagle Scout, Marcus Wilbold. Anyway, after high school, he applied to the University of Southern California not once, but twice, and was not accepted. However, he was accepted into the California State University in Long Beach, California. While attending there, he began his internship at Universal Studios, and his filmmaking career took off. In 1985, Spielberg married Amy Irving. They were married for about 4 years and had 1 child together. And then they divorced in 1989. In 1991, Spielberg married again, but to Kate Capshaw. They are currently still together and have a total of 5 children. Steven Spielberg's first film was a short one. It was called Escape to Nowhere and was produced in 1962. He was only 16 years old at the time and had won a first-place prize at a film festival. His second film was Fireflight, which was produced in 1964. Alright, now we're on to the big stuff. One of his largest grossing films he has ever made is mainly recognized by its prehistoric characters, Jurassic Park. Oops, wrong one. Close, but not it. There we go. The film was released in 1993. It was based off the novel by Michael Crichton, about dinosaurs being brought back to life through gene editing, putting them into a theme park, and they breaking loose and destroy the park. That's basically a short summary of the movie. Spielberg made about 2 more of these movies afterwards, revolving around the same storyline, adding up to about $2 billion of gross profit. That's 9 zeros. To put that into perspective, if you gave someone $1,000 every hour, you wouldn't run out of money for about 228 years. Or, if you were Marcus, you could buy about 250 million pies. Another successful film for Spielberg was Saving Private Ryan. The movie was released in 1998. It was an American epic war film set in 1944 in France during World War II. The film is known for its realistic depiction of war. It made a gross profit of about $480 million. Another big film I'm sure you've heard about, especially in this class, and Marcus, Gabe, and those other people could tell you all about it, is Shrek. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. The film was released in 2001, and the main reason for the success of Shrek was due to its amount of computer animation, pulling away from traditional 2D animation films. With a combination of 4 films, together they made about gross profit of $1.27 billion. Steven Spielberg's kickoff into the 1980s was a big success due to Indiana Jones' Raiders of the Lost Ark. The film was nominated for 9 Academy Awards and won 4 of them. One way that this movie changed the film industry was the scene about Indiana Jones or Harrison Ford running from a giant boulder. The scene is famous for its vast amounts of moving parts, which were not very common during this time period. Another example is when he was challenged to a sword fight and instead pulls out a gun and shoots his opponent. The scene adds a comedic relief to the film and shows the audience how the character thinks. In total, the 5 Indiana Jones films accumulated about $900 million in profit. Released in 1975 was Spielberg's first highly successful thriller, Jaws. Spielberg received an Academy Award for Best Pictures, and the film also won an Oscar from its soundtrack by John Williams. Spielberg had a lot of struggles while in production. One of those problems was the mechanical shark. There was originally supposed to be a lot more shark in the film, not to mention that it didn't look realistic, as also said in Back to the Future 2.
Shark still looks fake.
The film was intended to be shot in just 100 days. However, due to complications, it took about 159 days. The projected cost of the film was expected to be around $4 million, but ended up costing over $9 million. But in the end, it ended up being good because the film made about $400 million in gross profit. But back in the 1970s, it would be about $75 million.